Hello boys, my name is Koyoshi and this is gonna seem kind of weird at first, but I'm kind of just busy doing some other stuff. So, this is going to be, once again, a 100% playthrough of the Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition for Nintendo Switch, but things are gonna be a little bit different in this one. You see, we are not going to be doing the regular setup. Instead, we're going to actually be going into hard a little bit more sooner than I thought. I was going to save this for an hour playthrough, but then something came up and I have to do it early. So I'm doing this in free play mode, obviously, because this is much easier. So for this one, we're going to start with the main character first. We have to use the Hylian sword that is required. We can't do this without it. We'll use our strongest characters in any ordinary order and kind of just go from there. And I believe my second one is just going to be on Link. It doesn't really matter. But anyways, we are literally only here for one thing. Skulltulas. The Skulltulas are hard mode only items which require you to use only a specific character. And they spawn it as you go through. You need to check your specific warrior info in order for this to happen. So it says here, use the question mark while propelling the advance of enemy forces. This one doesn't actually have a requirement. I just have to use my special sword for it. And we're going to be skipping all the cutscenes this time around in Anchiro because things will be a little bit different. And also, just a bit of a warning, yes, I don't have the sword, so it will be a little bit tougher. Yeah. There's not a lot to do in this mission. Again, it's still a tutorial mission, whether it's in easy mode or hard mode, but there are a couple of things we do have to worry about this time. For one, other stuff, and also there's other problems that we have to deal with. Beyond that, this first part is literally the same as before. In fact, I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually change anything. Because last I checked, it doesn't actually give you an option for this. I just have to use this sword and I will automatically get it after a certain point. And yes, I'm using whatever the strongest characters are in each of these. Thankfully, Impa and other stuff, the two characters I have to use, and Link, they're both really high level, so they more than likely will be able to KO these. It's just whether or not we can do the second one. So yeah, if I do get stuck, I will wait. Beyond that, we're basically doing this the same way as we did before. Okay, since we have a lot of levels, we can still do a lot of damage to Voga. Granted, it's not a lot of damage that we're doing to Voga. Also, he would probably one-shot us if we were not on level 50-ish or higher, so yeah. Okay, well, we're done. Alright, now we have to quickly go up and take out the other enemies up here. Beyond that, this level is basically just a tutorial mission. You have to do the same things as you did before. Except in hard mode, things get interesting because now we have a secondary objective we have to complete while we're doing the level, and that's what actually makes it more challenging. And some of the later ones get very difficult. This is more or less just a preview of it. Isn't actually going to have any of the major objectives. All we're doing is defeating the next two of them because, as you remember, there's a gold Skulltula illustration we still have not completed yet, and I'm going to try and complete that so we can actually move on with the game because, yeah, that's a cool thing. I probably should have made Yunlink my second character, so yeah. I think the order will be the character that's required, then if not in order, Link, then Yunlink, then Impa. Okay, there we go. And I just use whatever weapon I happen to have. That's about it. There's not a lot else to do. And yes, this is kind of a break from all the other stuff that we've been doing before. I like how it says that it can't use question mark while repelling setup of enemy forces. Alright, so now I have to rendezvous with input. I always do this part last just because it's easier to do stuff. I don't necessarily need to sing these since there's no way the Castle Keep ever gets taken to us. This is literally just a tutorial mission and nothing else. That being said, I do still have to take the keeps pretty fast. Alright, got number 1 done. That will close the gate on there. I'm gonna actually let them do it for once. I'm just walking in and killing some other for it. Actually, I'm just kidding. And now we get Link and input to the next spot in this case, or in the original game it would be Zelda and our stuff. By the way, 100% can learn a lot of things from this. A lot of people think you have to still do this in Legio like you did before, but you don't have to. It's actually just an optional setup. In fact, once you get the ability to play as free play mode, you probably want to do that, because free play mode, you can use any warrior with another warrior, so if you get stuck, you can essentially cheese half the mission with the Master Sword, despite still having to use that item. I like how it says the 2 must reach the Fairy Fountain instead of Link and Zelda must arrive at the Fairy Fountain. It is very strange, but I don't know why. Alright. I like how he's the one that talks, but Young Link's the one that actually has to do it. Thankfully, he's really fast, so even though he was pretty far away, we could still do other stuff. Alright, that'll trigger that to finish when the time comes. Okay, that was really quick. Alright. I think it's just using the Fairy Fountain and then it'll appear, because the only thing we can use here is the Fairy Fountain. Alright. And now, Impa's gonna leave the battlefield here in a minute. After we finish off our stuff. Okay. Whew. My goodness, okay. Now we use the cutscene voter. Doesn't this trigger the Skulltula to appear now? I honestly don't know what to do beyond that. The game says there's a bonus that can be used, but that's about it. It doesn't say anything else. Like, if you check Skulltulas, it just says use the question mark while repelling the enemy forces. And I do not know what that means. Oof. I may have to wait to kill Dane Dodongo at this rate. I don't know what else to do. Because it gets really annoying. Well, even if I wanted to do that, I have to wait for King Dodongo to spawn anyways. Actually, hang on. I have a speedrun guide thing. I'm gonna just be right back for a minute and make sure this is correct. Hello, boys! Welcome back. My apologies. I'm still trying to do other stuff, but I actually am right about to get to the Skulltula. In fact, arguably, this is the most freest hard mode Gold Skulltula in the entire game. All you literally... What it means by question mark is we basically have to use the magic circle while using a specific sword while propelling the enemy troops, and that's it. That's all we have to do, and from there the Skulltula will be spawning. However, we can't actually get it until all of the text boxes are cleared, so now we're literally just waiting 15 minutes or whatever for the Gold Skulltula to finally make an appearance, and then the actual location of it is right next to Castle Keep, and I believe it's on the east wall. I forget where it is. If we have a problem, we could just purposely fail the mission by either letting King Dodongo kill our forces or something else happen, but I don't want that to happen since I don't want to start my own checkpoint. So I need to make sure that this is correct. Okay, after saying the Great Fairy is located on the south wall in the closed area. Elf wall on the closed area to the east and attached to the castle keep. Oh, it is there. Oh, there it is. Alright! I was about to say it was getting scary. Alright. Now, the second level is where the actual game begins its hard mode objectives, and this is literally nothing but doing other stuff. And yes, the central keep will probably fall during this. Unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do. And now we're gonna get knocked back a little bit. So we're gonna get an extra text box here. Or not. Alright. Does this actually kill him? I don't know. Nope. Of course it's not enough. Of course it's not enough. I saw magic right there, and there he opened his mouth anyway. I don't need to use magic. Thank you, King Dodongo, for being nice for once. Alright. Got him. See, I told you the first mission's not actually that bad. And by the way, you want to do these on hard mode because hero mode's even more difficult. There was no reason to even do hero mode on it. It is not required for 100%. We might do it later, but not right now. We need at least level 100 and the best weapons for each character to do hero mode, in case you're wondering. And that's for each character that does stuff. Well, we could do it with different characters. I'd rather do it with the boost, though. Just because it makes the mission way easier. Thankfully, once we do hero mode, it'll be just like a regular playthrough. That being said, it's not easy. Okay. So we'll skip all the cutscenes, and now we'll get another illustration piece. And hard gives you extra rupees, 1.5 times, so that's a thing we got to show. And now there's only one icon left, and all of this is actually only possible to get through Legend mode anyway, so... Anyways, now we're going to pick Impa, and we're gonna pick his blade. To make sure this works, I need to make sure I pick the target character first, as well as being on hard mode. If it's not on hard mode, it'll not work. And I will change it to easy afterwards. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna Master Sword on Link. And pick Young Link as the first character again. Can't actually use Young Link early because, well, the other stuff. Okay. Link might do some more work in this stage, who knows? This mission is pretty straightforward, by the way. Annoying, but straightforward. So, in the warrior info here, we have to destroy every single storm spire in this map, while keeping the bomb chews specifically. It's the bomb chews. At 50% or more health. I like how it says question mark, but we know it's the bomb chews. And if we have our character from the thing in our mission, then it'll be good enough. Well, now we have the Master Sword, things will go a lot quicker, since we could just use that, but we still have to do lots of other problems here, and I also need to make sure I, clear out this bomb first, and other stuff. And in case you're wondering how to efficiently do this, it's actually pretty straightforward. Just focus on the bomb chews and nothing else. And ignore everything else. Alright, I'm gonna send Impa up to this square here. So supposedly he'll go up. And I will then have him rendezvous with the Hyrule Captain while we clear out all of these enemies. Because beyond that, it's pretty straightforward. And yes, these first two missions are easier than normal, so they're pretty straightforward to do, because they're intended to be tutorial missions. Oh, and there's a side character in there as well. Looks like we also have another bot Link, but we also have our own Link, which is kind of weird. Okay, there we go. That dealt with that. I'm gonna do this with Impa. At least kill the major forces here. Yeah, well, we already got them all. Yeah, I captured it already. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna order commands so that Impa hopefully stays behind the character that is Hylian Captain. And now I'm gonna use Link to guard this first bomb chew and hope that works. The first one's pretty straightforward though. It's the second one where it gets more annoying because you have to deal with multiple things at the same time and it gets really annoying. Okay, now the monsters are going to appear deep within the cave after a little while. It's kind of annoying that we don't get this opportunity to take them out until later. See, now they all appear around. Now we have to go around and kill any enemy with a life bar on its top side. If we do not, then the bomb chews will just blow up. Thankfully, it's pretty straightforward to get to once you know what you're doing, because most of the life bar people are already in the path of the bomb chew anyway, so you can just sit around to clear out. And you have to make sure no life enters up here, because otherwise things get crazy. Oh, and yes, midway through you also have to capture the key as well. Alright. And yes, periodically I have to do other stuff. They'll usually only damage the bomb chew if we let it get stopped, so we just need to keep it moving. If it's moving, I mean, there's almost no way they're going to do stuff. And And yes, midway through, these big Poes will also appear. And we have to capture as well, or kill. Thankfully, they are weak to so we can do stuff. Let's try and slash them both down. Okay, we got those guys out of the way. So now the Bombchu is safe. First Bombchu is pretty easy, though. And if you already get the Bombchus down to 50% health, then you could just let one of them die if you want to restart the setup. But it takes a really long time, so hopefully we can get the second mission. Beyond that, the first and second half of the mission don't really matter. It's not until you do other stuff. In fact, you can do a delay strategy to make them spawn right. In case you didn't already see my secondary strategy that I already showed you, until the second Bombchu launches, you don't have to deal with a lot of enemy forces actually attacking the Bombchu. So if you clear out all the enemy forces before spying a second Bombchu, then you don't have to deal with that nonsense at all, and it makes this mission a whole lot easier. Beyond that, though, it's basically just as straightforward as it was before, except things are going to get a bit more tricky with hard mode, because, well, you have those enemies coming from the back, and you have the other stuff coming from the right. Lots of stuff. I don't need to really kill all the other characters, but I'll do other stuff. Now, the title square is the most important one, so we do have to capture this as fast as possible. And I'll use the spin to kill him, so he can also spawn the key boss at the same time. And then we open the chest, which forces fast. It's a forced cutscene chest. Can't win the mission without finishing it. Gate won't open. Okay, now we should get this gate to open, and now we have to take out the Spirit of the Caves and the 2 summoners. Got him. Spirit of the Caves is already taken care of. Oh wow, I don't even have to use the setup. Apparently Impa fell back to attack some of the dark forces on her own. That actually saves me a lot of time. Well, how about I go through and deal with this first. And also the other keep when the time comes. And now we're gonna deal with the assault troops. Alright, now we deal with the assault troops. What's funny is, although he commands the assault troops to go towards the tile square, the second ones don't actually get to do anything at all until all of these cutscenes are done. And that's it. Once they are done, things get crazy, and I probably do want Impa's help, so make sure Impa gets commanded to go right here, so we don't have him worrying. This is just so we can make it out of the cave sooner or later. But beyond that, they're just waiting now. Waiting. Now we get the second Bombchu cutscene, but we're gonna wait on it because in a minute a secondary spot will appear. Yeah, we're kind of just waiting here. Oh, there it is. I like how right as I leave it just goes through. Whoops. Alright, now the guards... Now the Summoner and the other characters will actually advance, so we need to make sure these assault troops are dealt with. Okay, that gets rid of those guys. And now we have to quickly go through and capture the tunnel square. And now there should be no more monsters except the monsters with Rizro. And those are pretty tricky. I'll probably just use spins to take care of them in a funnel. Alright. And yes, I can't even do anything until the cutscene appears, so a lot of it is just waiting around. Okay, that eye's all the way back there. No reason to even worry about him. Probably not going to save any Hylian captains down there. Alright, there we go. Now we found that. Now we, for this to chair. Oh, and I'm going to use Impa real quick to slap this thing while I'm still kind of stuck in the square. And we have to get that before the Fane goes in. Okay, there we go. Finally it opened. Okay, there we go. Now we shouldn't have to worry too much. Wow, that was a long delay, and I am not in the right spot to take out Israel. Oh well. Okay, now we have to spin towards this area because they'll all be funneled out to the side. And we're just gonna do this a couple of times. We can all... I think we could just spam the slash here to deal with some of them. Kill as many of the Resolfals as we can here. And then quickly KO Wizro. What I like is he will say, hey, periodically, oh, have some other characters go towards the bomb shoes, like, attack the bomb shoes or something like that. And it's like, oh, we already killed all of them, though. And also, the first bomb shoe's already there. And yes, most of this I learned here. Oh, okay, they're up there. So that's where they spawn. I was wondering why there was no enemies here. But anyways, okay, so that's this mission done with. It's actually pretty straightforward. By the way, guys, you should definitely do this if you're doing the mission. It makes it way easier. And yes, I spun the enemies in that keep because if you let any of them get out, the Bombchu can lose health very quickly in this mode. So beyond that, we're really just stalling and waiting. And there we go. Now we don't have to worry about the objectives. Now we wait for the Skulltula to appear, and then we move towards and collect it. That's about it. So we have to wait for a lot of text boxes, and I mean a ton of text boxes. But as long as he's in here, it should be good. Okay, now it should spawn. There it is. Yun Link, you're closer to it. I'm gonna have you go and pick it up. I'm just gonna try and find it on my own for the first half. Is it up top here? Oh, no. Or no, it is. Oh, it's on the secret ledge. I have to use the hook shot to get up with it. Alright. Well, that was pretty quick. Okay, now that problem part is dealt with, now we can go ahead and command you over there. Exit square. Except someone's just kind of letting the eggs come in and attack. Yeah. Once you get rid of the Skulltula, the mission's pretty much already over at that point. Okay, I'll just take out the Jerkophos real quick. Okay, now we should be making our way to the exit. Young Mike's kind of just gonna chill in the Crystal Cave and do his thing while we go to other stuff. There's no reason to even protect any of the other squares after it's done, because, well, by the time the enemy forces get so sparse, they just stall. There we go. We made it through. We are done. I hope that one is Princess Zelda, too. Alright, this is going to be the end of this particular part, and I'll tell you why we did this in a minute. I actually don't know what this is, but I'm pretty sure it's good for farming up our characters, so we definitely need to do this at some point. So I figured, why not unlock it early, so I can grind while I wait. I don't think I've ever shown this intro in a while. Alright. Well, let's just go back. Okay. And again, hard gives us 1.5 times the rupees. And there we go. That completes this illustration. A new awards map has been added to Adventure Mode. This is where we're going to go now. So this is actually going to be the intro to the rewards map. It says here, each completed illustration unlocks awards map. Defeat Golden Skulltulas to collect illustration pieces. So we have a bunch of awards to now get, and yeah. Okay, so each one of these has different stuff. Okay, so each one of these we have to roll out the illustration. So anyways, there's only one of these, so we're gonna do this. Live out the illustration to partners. So we're gonna do that with a character, and I'm actually gonna use the fire character. Actually, no. Now I'll just use you know what? I probably should show this off. So we'll go ahead and show off the horse, Epona. Link's new weapon we didn't really get a chance to see much of. I just want to beat this mission, so it doesn't really matter what I do. And yes, every time you unlock a specific item, you can get stuff from the rewards map. And this involves just collecting a lot of stuff. Oh, this is a really cool weapon. I'm just gonna show how to go through this. Alright. Alright. Link, allow me to join you. Alright, now we have to defeat all of the other opponents. And yes, this is essentially a rewards map we can do. I just realized there's a lot of captains in here, so I can instantly recognize why this would be good for farming. And yes, you basically want to partner with the character you think you want to upgrade, so in this case, we partnered with Zelda, so since she's still kind of weak and I would like to get her upgraded, so yeah. Beyond that, though, the rest of the mission plays out just like the adventure mode map, but it's known as the rewards map, and this is basically our introduction to it. Probably should have shown this off a bit sooner, but yeah. What else can you really do? I'm gonna go ahead and try and show off stuff. Alright. My apologies if it takes a bit longer, by the way, to kill these opponents. I did purposely select this weapon so I could do other stuff. I was gonna use the Master Sword as, like... I feel like people have seen too much of the Master Sword. I feel like I need to show this weapon off, because it's a really cool weapon. I just saw only a few minutes how I last did stuff. Oh, come on, dude. Okay, I'm gonna have to at least attempt to go for their weak point break. Wow, that weak point break did like nothing. Really? Maybe this is not, was not meant to be. Yeah, it was not meant to be. Darn it, we might have to force them to the allied base at this point. And now Midna is also, like, you know, appearance. Oh, great. This is just gonna get really annoying. Probably should have just used the Master Sword. Oh, well. Well, at least we can heal, right? It should still be doable. It's just gonna take longer. Well, if we want to really deal with the opponents, Midna's weak against flight magic, so let's kill her first, just to make sure it dies. And then we'll go back to take out the other opponents once it gets close. Alright. That did a lot more damage to Lana than it did Impa. Impa pretty much resisted a lot of my attacks because he's a water element character, whereas I'm a warrior of light, which is not the best. It's obviously not the best weapon to do this with right now, but it might become better later. Of course, keep in mind, we still have to protect Zelda, too, so there's that. It looks like the regular opponents aren't attacking us yet, but actually, I'm joking. Of course they're attacking us. It's not Hyrule Warriors without them at least doing jacks. Okay, that's cool. You can kind of just juggle them by going to the right side. So this one has a lot of stall riding to it, where if you can keep moving and still kill the enemies while you do this, which I find quite interesting. It's really cool, actually. Can't wait to see what the magic ability on this is, because I do want to at least show off that. I feel like I didn't show that off enough. I probably will do it, though. Okay, now we have the other allies, and these are all the Warriors of Light we had to fight with during the storyline. 3 of them are the main characters from the specific character spots. And apparently also Agatha is here as well. I like how her intro is Incent Princess ? Instead of just a regular thing. Oh gosh, that's annoying. Okay, well, Fi's a light warrior character, so I definitely won't do a lot of damage with the weak point, right? Darn it. Come on, Fi, bring out your bigger attacks. That's her magic attack. That's annoying. When they use their magic attack, they aren't vulnerable at all, and it's really annoying. Okay, Fi is dealt with. Now we just have Agatha. I'm just gonna do this right now. Let's do it. Sure, why the heck not? So that's I think the first time we've ever used a fairy ability. We actually have another one called Hard Worker, but that one only triggers when we reach 0 by default. It's essentially the fairy revive, where if we run out of hearts, we get revived with some hearts. I think it restores like half of your HP. Alright, there we go. Now we can finally make progress without other stuff. Looks like the game doesn't want to troll us too hard, so it's making the enemies get stuck at a certain point. So it's not too bad. What I like is you can kind of just walk around and kill enemies while you do this. It's not a bad weapon once it has level 3 or level 4 of it. Yes, this is everyone's favorite horse companion for Link, Epona, obviously. Just missed it. Just missed the crit attack on it there. I like how when you hit certain enemies, they kind of just fly in the air. I'm kind of just seeing what comes out at this point, let's be honest. Alright. Well, looks like this is a good spot to get KOs, if anything, so that'll be helpful later. So the rewards maps are basically how we could potentially farm several specific items at once for making our characters more powerful, including all the regular weapons, all of the other stuff, and mainly the badges. This is mainly for the badges that are used to upgrade your characters, which is the sole reason why this is so good. I obviously recommend doing this with your strongest characters since it'll go a lot quicker, but I decided to do this anyways because, well, I still kind of need a good experience up with this eventually, so I want to see if I can get one of these weapons, maybe with there I am on it. That'd be cool. Alright. There's plenty of enemies here, so we probably will need to kill a lot for the purpose of the rewards at. So we need to make sure we're killing a lot of enemies here. My apologies if this takes on in advance, but... Look at all the enemies here. This is crazy how many forces we have to kill here just to survive. My goodness. Well, if there's one thing I learned, this map is really good for early KO farming, so if you want to unlock skills on weapons, then this is another good reason to do this, because you get 2,000 kills very easily, and with Link you can easily do this in like 5 or 10 minutes if you know where to go for the kills. There's no treasure, so you know what, I'm just gonna go and kill a boss. After clear out most of the major enemy forces, that is. Don't need to actually capture any keeps here yet, because the game doesn't have any rewards available yet. Oh yeah, I need to make sure my ally doesn't die. Oh wow. Oh goodness, he teleported to me. Just teleported to me, that's crazy. Okay, that attack with the swing is probably my best bet to clear out the bigger groups a little bit quicker. Of course, if it was more powerful, it'd already kill a lot of them. So, it looks like most of these groups don't move, so it's not actually that hard to do stuff. Last time I did something like this, there's definitely a lot of KOs that need to be done, so I need to make sure I get all the KOs. Right. So many enemies, it's absolutely crazy. Alright. Oh, we could finally use our big boy. Our magic, finally. Oh my gosh, they're kind of just, as the other Dark Link, he can't figure out what to do here. I barely got 50 KOs to get the experience up there. Okay, that's his satchel, I guess. Goodness, he has a lot of resist too. Okay. His spin is incredibly quick. Okay. It's definitely a good mission to farm KOs for, you know, weapons. Okay, there we go. Finally defeated him. Might not get the A rank. We'll see. Okay. Okay. Just so you know, Link, you're about to walk into a wall. That's what I thought. I'm gonna go a little bit faster here the second time around just to make sure we get the AO time. There's no reason to do anything different, so we could just attack and spin with Master Sword this time. This will be much faster with Master Sword. I probably should have just done that to begin with, but I wanted to show off that weapon at the same time. Oh wow, they're still very difficult even with the Master Sword. They're not, oh yeah, without a fight, that's for sure. Well, this is definitely a lot tougher than I initially expected it to be. We don't have time to watch any of the intros this time, so we'll just skip them. Goodness, they threw 2 attacks at the same time. Right. Darn it, that was your magic attack. Okay, we're dealing with them a lot better. I think ideally the fastest way of doing this, since there's a lot of light warriors in there, except for Impa, is to just select either the warrior of water or the warrior. You can use a dark character, so that way you can quick kill most of them. Because all you really need to do is just kill them, so that's that. In case you're wondering, this mission is exclusively for grinding multiple items at the same time, including a small bit of KO farming as well as some other stuff. You're right. You're an obstacle. Obstacles less for your own. I assume you understand. Right. Right. Okay, there we go. Now we defeat the commander. And yes, the rewards map doesn't unlock until after we get ours. I like how it just deflates itself when it tries to charge up a big attack and use the bow on it. Because, like, why not? Why would the bow not do that? Just for no reason whatsoever. Just make a bow deflate for no reason whatsoever. Only 620. That's still quite a bit before it'll fail. This time we'll walk to the key and take it while trying to kill all the other opponents that are coming our way. I'm still spinning because most of the time that's how we get a lot of KOs. Only so, that's fine. I think I still have to get around 3k kills, but I'm gonna do it a little bit differently this time. So I can see that unlockable, as well as just get the A rank out of the way. Most of it was just bad gameplay. The Ekid part was bad knowledge, and the rest was, well, history. If you know what I mean. I just had to make that joke, did I? Okay. Wow, the allied Jupe finished them off, so it said Jupe's defeated Big Foe, even though Link was literally right in their face, killing them. Way to steal that kill, Mr. Outpost Captain. Mr. Outpost Captain. Post Captain. That's the person who got the KO, at least. It was an Outpost Captain, I'm pretty sure. Well, we're about to find out if we need 2,500 KOs or not. Oh goodness, I got stunned. And stuck, apparently, at the same time, too. Okay. Alright. Done. There's the item. Okay, we got it. Just wanted to make sure we got enough KOs for it, because with a lot of stuff to clear out, there's usually a lot more KOs. Time to figure out what that is later. And I thought it was a cool video. My apologies, by the way, if this is a little bit out of the way, but it's just stuff that I wanted to do. Introduce us to hard mode as well as the first rewards map, because, yeah, in addition to other stuff, there's always the rewards map. Oh, I just realized this is a good map for farming rupees, too. You get 2,500 just from doing stuff. Not to mention all the other random awards you can get throughout. I kind of missed what that was. Also, let's throw Winkito on random mission just to see what the thing is. Change costume. Oh, there it is. Oh, we got Dark Link unlocked from that, I think. And this is another one we got. Arrow of Wilds tunic. I believe this is from... this might actually be his... I think I remember this more. Yeah, this is his Wind Waker costume, actually. It's quite interesting, actually. So you can change their costume with that once you get one. But beyond that, we're going to be continuing with the adventure mode once again in the next episode. Like you enjoyed, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.